Yo, what's poppin' everybody? This is Cerebral Finding 4, our part 2 of our 2020-2021 format rotation. Today we're going to be looking at Forbidden Light. Last time we looked at Ultra Prism. And Forbidden Light is pretty much the Malamar set, you could say. The biggest thing rotating out of this set is the entire Malamar deck. Malamar, NK, Mysterious Treasure is also leaving, Ultra Necrozma GX, etc. Forbidden Light is also kind of the set where the Ultra Beast support started to pick up and get deep, and we lose cards like Ultra Space from here, Beast Ring, the Beast Energy, and basically, the Ultra Beast archetype is kind of going to become dead with the Sun and Moon sets slowly rotating out in their entirety. These should be the biggest cards rotating out. The biggest GX is Ultra Necrozma, like I mentioned. The other ones aren't really, too great. Something like Lucario GX did see a good amount of play in the sort of a Golisopod Zoroark format, you could say. It was used as an alternative to Golisopod, where if you evolved during the same turn, it could do a big chunk of damage for just one energy. The fighting coverage it had could prove useful, but it hasn't seen any play for quite a bit, just like Pokemon like Lysandre GX that I talked about on the previous set. A Pokemon that I really like from here, Xerneas GX. I did use this a bit in Gardevoir GX decks before they rotated out. And pretty much any sort of fairy deck, I feel like this Pokemon had a place over there with its GX attack. Being able to completely remove all damage counters from your field and put them on your opponent's active Pokemon. Essentially heal all your guys and severely damage the opposition. It was a great Pokemon. Nice little early attack. You could do 20 and 20 on the bench. It was all around a really good, solid, basic fairy Pokemon. That's going away too. The Greninja GX line, Greninja with Frogadier. A Frogadier that had sort of the sneaky bite effect of Golbat. When you evolve, you put 2 damage counters. And then Greninja GX putting 3 like Crobat when it evolved. I only saw Greninja GX really used in that Meganium Super Boost Energy deck where you used a bunch of stage 2s and you wanted to make like a sort of a lock attack with Greninja, then it goes back in the deck. You shuffle the Super Boost Energy back then, and then you would bring out something like a Slacking that would block abilities. You used Swampert to draw 3 cards every turn. That sort of deck. Outside of that, some people did use it with Zoroark GX, I think, but that's about it. The ability to spread damage counters upon evolving is good, but we just have stronger cards that can spread damage right now, and had for a bit. The original Nakanelo GX that came over here, this card was tried out when Stakataka GX came out in Celestial Storm as a sort of deck that would block damage on your Ultra Beast, and you could do high damage for just 1 energy. You get a bunch of Ultra Beasts on the field, and you could do a good chunk of damage, take advantage of all the Ultra Beast support. It was a decent Pokemon, not the greatest in the world, and now is rotating. In the National Championships, when the Triple Acceleration Energy came out, it was kind of used as a tech in the Zoroark GX decks as a way to reset you and your opponent's prizes, but that's about it. Zygarde GX also didn't do much outside of that Asian guy that became kind of a meme on the championship that used it. With the Zygarde from, I think, Unified Minds, you could do a little bit of a combo, do some high damage, power this guy up, and pretty much have a straight Zygarde deck for the Zygarde lovers, but didn't do anything. And Yveltal GX, this is easily the weakest GX from this set. It was really disappointing when this card was revealed, especially compared to Xerneas. This card has only just seen a little bit of play in those Galarian Zigzagoon decks where you just place a few damage counters and maybe you can use its GX attack for a free KO. Outside of that, didn't see any play. Now, I already talked about a few of the major trainers that we lose that sort of work for the Psychic Malamar decks, any Dragon decks, I guess, using Mysterious Treasure, and the Ultra Beast stuff. But we do have a few generic trainers too. Like we got the Fossil Excavation Map. Fossil decks weren't really very good, but there's a card that definitely helps, letting you grab that identified fossil from the discard pile and the deck. A good searching card. The latest supporter seemed like a cool idea when it came out, a supporter that lets you grab 4 energies from the deck, like a double Professor's Letter, but eventually we got better ways to search energies, so it didn't really see too much play. The Lysandre Prism supporter for some control decks, I guess, trying to take advantage of fire. the Lysandre Labs stadium, negating all tools in play. It's not such a big loss now that we got the tool scrubber back and we can remove tools more efficiently like that. A very big card in my opinion from this set is the metal frying pan. This card is pretty much key because this was a very effective way for the metal decks to sort of combat the fire decks. Not only did you block a little bit of damage, but you also eliminated your weakness, and that played a huge role. Yeah, it would have been less effective since we have Tool Scrapper like I just mentioned, but it was still a very good card that could even the odds. I've already mentioned the Beast energy for the Ultra Beast. We also get the other unit energy, Fairy Fighting and Darkness here. That will go away too. So I think all of the unit energies are going to be out. And I guess for the only other supporters, we have the Diantha. This card was I only saw it being used in like the Grand Bull decks, where they made the combo and get a bunch of cards back in hand from the discard pile. In general, fairies won't be a thing anymore since they decided they're not going to support that type and they're going to make them psychic Pokemon. So I guess it's only natural for this card to go away. Crash or Wake. In my opinion, this card was never really that good. A double discard for water energy to just get 2 cards. Too specific of a cost, and you don't really get that much plus anyway. It was only kind of decent in those Gyarados decks that you want to dump energies and do high damage, where basically your whole deck is almost energies and ways to get the Gyarados out quick. That's about it. And then Ultra Recon Squad for the last supporter here. This is basically like Roxy, or maybe the Roller Skater you could say, for Ultra Beast Pokemon. It was a nice little supporter, did not see too much play because most Ultra Beast decks either favored Zoroark GX when it was around or other supporters. If you're running Ultra Beasts, they would be your main Pokemon, so you don't really want to dump them. I actually did use this card when I was trying to use Rampardos and make a sort of Ultra Beast engine to help draw cards and make Rampardos work, but that's old news now. And then the last thing to talk about is some small Pokemon, I guess, minor regular Pokemon. We got the Grass Alolan Executor here. This was actually a very good Stage 1 Pokemon that a lot of people used, and it saw a little bit of a success. Stage 1 with 160 HP. Could do high damage for just 1 energy if you had enough different basic energies in the discard pile. Furamasa is a card that I really like from here that's going to go away. This Pokemon, I used it a lot just because it's a basic Pokemon with 110 HP and it had free retreat. I never managed to get the Tapu Koko that had free retreat and did some good spread damage, and then eventually that card rotated out. Sometimes when I'm running a deck using some support Pokemon that you want to start with and get really early and use its attack to gather energies or something like that, and I don't have enough copies, this card was really good to sort of increase your chances to at least maybe open with this, and then you use something like a Quick Ball or Nest Ball and get that Pokemon like Volcania, let's say. So this Furamasa was a good card. If you used it in a grass deck, its a 3 energy attack was also good. Volcanion Prism is actually a really good card from this set. Not even a minor card, I would say. Strong Water Prism Pokemon, 160 HP. Useful ability, forcing your opponent to switch. And useful high damage spreading attack. This card mostly sees play in Expanded with those Archie's Blastoise decks, trying to control your hand with its discarding effect so you can play Archie. But is a good card even in Standard. I mean, we do have the Team Up Blastoise still. And now that we have Frostmoth, obviously you can use this in your deck as a 1 prize attacker, regular Pokemon. Speaking of energy acceleration, a big card going from this set is the Lightning Magnezone. Forbidden Light also gave us like alternate type prints for some cards in like Ultra Prism. Like you got the Metal Magnezone, you got the Lightning Magnezone here. You got the Water Empoleon over here is like the Metal Empoleon. And I think there's the Garchomp too, like the Fighting Garchomp. So these are going away. Lightning Magnezone is really big for me because since you could attach lightning energies from your hand, you could take advantage of a lot of different cool Pokemon compared to Metal. So kind of a big loss for me, especially if they give us something like a Rayquaza V and it would work wonders with it. It's going to make me salty, but it is what it is. There's always Expanded. Regular Executree from here is a nice little lightning Pokemon, I guess. Solid 1 energy attack with instant confusion, and the 3 energy attack can also be pretty good. Ultra Beast style, if you have 3 specific prize cards, instant paralysis. Diantha is actually a really major card from this set, given 20 to all fighting Pokemon. I mean, this Pokemon was a staple in just about any fighting deck to give you that extra 20. The regular Buzzhole Ultra Beast from here. Obviously, you guys know the combo with Sledgehammer, and it was used with Garbodor. It was used with the Buzzhole GX when that was around. Just like a lot of other cards, it just seems like this card is from a different format, even though it wasn't that long ago when it was good. It's just a different format right now with the Tag Team GXs and the VMAX Pokemon, I suppose. Great fighting Pokemon, though, that's going away. Wondrous Gift Florges. I've only seen this card being used in fucking stall control decks, so that's not good, but I guess I thought I'd mention it, because it does have that ability. Goomy with Sticky Membrane, I'm not sure about that word, but this was the Goomy that you would use in some hit and switch decks if you wanted to make your opponent's attacks cost more and sort of annoy them that way. That goes away too. And then the last card worth any damn from Forbidden Light is Arceus Prism. This card actually had a lot of potential in my opinion, but it just couldn't be consistent since you can only have one copy. Even if you build a deck around those specific types it needs to get that energy acceleration, you only have one of these Arceus, so difficult to use. But it is kind of a key card we're losing from this set in my opinion. To sum up, the Malamar energy acceleration is going away. Ultra Beasts are basically going away. All of their most major cards are going away. Fighting decks lose a little bit of power too, with Diantha going away. Any sort of cool deck you might think of with Magnezone's energy acceleration won't be able to be a thing in standard either. Frying Pan and Mysterious Treasure. Mysterious Treasure is a really good card we're losing from this set. Okay, and this is Forbidden Light. Part 3 is going to be a Celestial Storm, of course, and I hope you guys look forward to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. Thank you guys for watching as always. Say Wolffinder 4, and we'll save.